9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following program contains mature content. Any opinions expressed are those solely of the host and any guests. Listener discretion strongly advised.
And welcome, everyone. Welcome to another virtual campfire sit-down that we call Weiss Thoughts. On each episode of Weiss Thoughts, I'll give you my unfiltered opinions on the world around us. You never know what's on my mind. And hey, do me a favor. If you like the program, give us a positive rating and review and share us with your friends. If you want to listen to more episodes of Weiss Thoughts, you can do that by going to purplepitstudios.com. That's purplepitstudios.com. Search for Weiss Thoughts. Just make sure you spell my name right. W-Y-C-E. Weiss Thoughts. You can tweet at me on Twitter at Terry Weiss. So what's in store on this episode of Weiss Thoughts? Well, it's time for America to put up or shut up. And we're going to talk about how critical this midterm election is. Coming up on this episode of Weiss Thoughts.
Making no apologies. You're listening to Weiss Thoughts. Now, back to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome to Weiss Thoughts. And oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're just a mere few days away from the midterm elections here in the United States of America. I don't know where you're listening in from, but it's a big one here. Because let me tell you, my friends, there's a lot going wrong in the United States right now. We have super high inflation of the likes of we haven't seen since the late 70s, early 80s. Supply shortages still on a lot of things. Have you tried to get a part to fix your car or appliance or what have you? Good luck. And just the basic costs for basic necessities, food, utilities, and whatnot. Are you a renter? Have you seen your rent going up and going crazy? I'm sure you have. And boy, that was a pretty cold open there, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire. But howdy, one and all. Welcome to the program. Welcome to Weiss Thoughts as we all suffer through the continuing, well, there ain't no really nice way to say it. We continue to suffer through the clusterfuck that is the Biden administration. I'll tell you, I knew this guy was a train wreck when he was the vice president under Obama. And, folks, he ain't gotten any smarter or any more, I don't know, aware. The man is compromised. And when I mean compromised, there's something mentally wrong with him. And it's sad. It's sad. But, you know, he ain't got any better since he was the VP. He's still Creepy Joe, man. He's sniffing chicks, children. I mean, in any other place, let me ask you a question, okay? And it's obvious for those of you listening, I don't like the man. I don't care for the man. I think he is a poor excuse for a politician, like many of them out there. And he's just not good for the United States of America. But let me pose something to you. Let's say you went to a party. Your friend invited you over to a party, and there's a bunch of people there. Yeah, bring your kids. Come on over. We're having a party. And Creepy Joe was there, and all of a sudden, you see him hovering around your daughter, and trying to lean in and sniff her hair and stuff, and you can see the angst and the distress in your daughter's eyes. I mean, what would you do? You'd be like, get that maniacal creepster out of here. Creepy Joe, man, and it's a well-deserved nickname for him because the guy is creepy. Besides the fact that he can't string two cognizant sentences or words, even that for that matter, together. The conspiracy theorists will say, well, Obama's really running the country, or, Susan Rice, or whatever. I don't care. He is not a strong leader. I've said this from the very beginning. He wasn't a strong vice president. He's a buffoon. He's an utter disgrace to this nation, in my humble opinion. And the VP is 100 times worse than him. The cackler, the cackling hen there, who's vice president there, Cackling Kamala, as I call her, Cackling Kamala Harris. The phrase dumb as a box of rocks, that's insulting to rocks because I think rocks are more intelligent than her. But hey, God bless her. She trotted on her knees all the way to the top, I guess. But anyway, folks, we're in some real trouble here in the United States. Things are not getting much better. It seems like for every little glimmer of hope, there's 10 more things that go awry. And we've got a wide open border that needs to be fixed. And those that came here illegally need to be booted out. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. They need to be rounded up and given a one swift kick in the keister out of my country. Those of you that disagree with that, well, hey, it sounds like a you problem, but you're entitled to disagree. And I would say, and I've said this on many a past program, if you agree we should just have open borders and let any old riffraff in and anybody in without any kind of checks and balances, go home tonight and take the door off the front of your house and out the back of your house if you got two doors. Take the doors off. Leave the doors off. Terry, that's ridiculous. Why would I do that? Just like having open borders. What do you care? What do you need a door for? Have an open house, man. Who cares? Anybody should be able to wander on in. What else? Well, we talked about record high inflation in this country. Have you been to the grocery store lately? I just went down and bought a few necessities for me and the missus here today. We had a new refrigerator delivered just a mere day or so ago because our other one finally went, But hey, after almost 20 years, that's to be expected. So we bought a new refrigerator, and when there's a changeover like that, you have to replenish some things. And I just went and got the basics, some milk, and some of the condiments and things like that. It was time to freshen up onto that. And $58, man. $58 for stuff that could fit in one bag. All right, I lied. 1.5 bags, maybe 2, depending on your bagging skills. However, that being said, have you looked at your utility bills lately, Americans? Are you seeing your natural gas bills skyrocket like we are? I've talked about that on a couple past programs here on Weiss Thoughts. Wow. Everything's going up. Everything. Gas is going back up again. Then there was a story today, as of the recording of this program, that we only have about a 30-day supply left of diesel fuel for the country. That's not a good thing. Now, they're going to replenish it, so don't panic out there. They're going to go, oh, my God, no, we're going to run out of diesel. No. But do you trust this guy to replenish? Do you trust this administration? The gaslighting and the unwillingness to accept any responsibility for their fuck-ups is just monumental. I mean, it's like children, running a store. And, the press secretary there, Jean-Claude Van Damme Pierre or Chier or whatever her name is, the one that looks like she's got Q-tip for a head. She always has this googly-eyed look on her face, and she just acts like she doesn't know what the hell's going on half the time. Now, I know her job is to be a professional liar for the administration, but, geez, Peppermint Patty did a hell of a better job than she did. Folks, my fellow Americans, it is incumbent upon you. It is time for us to put up or shut up out here. The time for us to sit quietly on the sidelines and just say, well, we'll wait for the next big election cycle to come around. No. We have to move forward. You have to get off your asses out there, my fellow Americans, and vote. We've got to vote in common sense. A lot of the Democrat, radical communist Nazis, all they want to talk about is critical race theory and drag shows and, how everything is still Trump's fault. I mean, the man's been out of office 2+ years, and they're still blaming him. You've got to get off your asses, and we've got to vote these people out, and we've got to vote in intelligent politicians. Now, it could be a Democrat, it could be a Republican, it could be an independent, it could be a Scientologist, I don't know. But somebody that makes sense. We're hurting out here. Americans are hurting. They're struggling to pay their bills. They're struggling to provide food on the table for their families. And God love them. They're struggling to try and save money And all Democrat, radical communist Nazis want to talk about is, how many genders there are and, that we should allow 5-year-olds to cut off their pork and beans if they're a guy or sew up their vaginas if they're a girl because they, if they want to, switch to the other team. That's where their priorities are, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that when you're at the voting booth. They don't care that you might be 1 or 2 payments before being thrown out of your house because you can't pay your rent. They don't care you might lose your automobile because you can't pay your car loan. They don't care that you might have to freeze this winter because you can't afford to pay your heating bill. They don't care that you might not have power maybe because you can't afford to pay your bill. They don't care that maybe your family might starve because, you can't afford to buy food. They don't care that maybe you'll get sick and die because you can't afford to pay your health care premiums. The Democrat, communist Nazis in the United States of America don't fucking care. But you know what they do care about? They care about keeping their power. That's what they care about. As long as that free ride is in for the politician. And there's some rhinos out there, rhino Republicans, that their keisters need to be kicked to the curb too. Because all they want to do is continue the old free ride, raping the taxpayer, bend us over, and continue to ass fuck us. Folks, it's time for us to put up or shut up. You got to get out and vote. You've got to get aware of the issues. You've got to get informed on these candidates. Don't watch their 30-second political spot or their 1-minute political spot where they pull out all the Hollywood trickery. And they play the music. Oh, if a Republican gets elected, he's going to take away Grandma's Social Security. Yeah, who gives a shit? Because I'll tell you what, if we continue the way we're going, those of us out here, we're not going to make it to even think about collecting Social Security. We're going to die of starvation or freeze to death. And especially to my listeners in the great state of New York, from whence the program cometh, we've got to get rid of horrendous Hochul. Governor Kathy Hochul is a mess. This woman was useless as a town of Hamburg supervisor. She was useless when she was running, I don't know if it was the DMV in Erie County of New York. All she did was hitch her coattails to the radical liberal communist Nazi party and rose through the ranks that way. She's useless. I met someone today that said, he met her at a function not that long ago, and she out lied to him, especially about the new gun laws in New York State. Said, oh, there's no plans to do that. We're going to leave things as they are. Right. Out and out, flat out lied. Like most politicians do. Folks, it's time for you to put up or shut up. If you like the way things are going, if you don't give a shit, well, then keep your ass home. But whatever happens to you, okay, you deserve. But for the rest of us, it's time to really step up our efforts and get involved. Get vocal. Get involved in a campaign for a candidate that you can believe in, no matter what their political affiliation. Because I've stated many times on many episodes of Here of Weiss Thoughts, I tend to lean towards conservative. I always say I'm an American first and then a conservative second. But I have voted for some Democratic politicians in my lifetime, some independents, and Republican. But the primary thing I'm trying to get across in this episode of Voice Thoughts here on the podcast today is it's time to get off the sidelines. We've got to get involved. For all of us sitting, that sit out here, and I get involved, so I'm just saying it's a generality. For all of you out there that are just sitting out there, on the couch watching the play-by-play, if you got off your blessed assurance and got to the polls here and started voting, starting learning about the issues, learning about the candidates, do some research. Don't trust the Hollywood commercials they put out. Don't trust the radio 30-second, cinema-produced audio ads you hear and such, and, those flyers that come to your home in the mail. Do some honest-to-God research. It doesn't take much. It honestly doesn't take much of your time. And you'll learn about the issues. You'll learn about the candidates. You can look up, maybe some of you don't know this, but did you know for any politician in the United States of America, in any state, any branch of government, you can look up their voting record? Huh. That's right. You can find out how they voted. So when they come out and say, I voted for this, and you know it's a lie because you know their voting record on that. When are we going to take action, ladies and gentlemen? The time is drawing nigh for the United States of America. People are hurting, and some a hell of a lot more than others. And our politicians are laughing all the way to the bank. They're raping us over the coals. They're selling us down the road in the name of things such as climate change. All these woke policies that these radical communist Nazi liberals are enacting, look at the damage it's doing to this country. Look at the damage. And common sense policies can be enacted while still maintaining a respect and care for the environment. But when you swing the pendulum way the frig over there, there's going to be repercussions. It's like trying to stop a car going 60 on a dime. If you don't have your seatbelt on, you're going through the fucking windshield. That's kind of what they're doing to the United States of America with these radical policies that, if you look up 90% of them, they make no sense. They cause more damage than the good they're trying to portray. I mean, take electric vehicles. I don't know about you. Have you been seeing all these increased ads from car companies for electric and EV vehicles? First of all, who the hell can afford them? Second of all, they are more damaging to the environment to produce than a regular gas-powered automobile. Do the research. Look it up. It's a fact. But, it's all about the virtue signaling, feel good. I bought an electric vehicle so I can pat myself on the back. Oh, look at me. I'm Mr. Environmentally Friendly. Common sense. We can get there with common sense. It just seems like especially in the United States of America, 80% of us out here, you lost your fucking minds. You have no common sense. You're dumb motherfuckers. And somebody on the TV spits out, hey, go jump off a bridge because it'll save the environment. Okay. It's time to put up or shut up, America. It's time to get into the game and stop being a spectator. Otherwise, we might not have a United States of America. And I'm not saying that for shock value. I'm not saying that, ooh, cry wolf. I'm being deadpan serious. We are, if not at already, a critical tipping point in the history of this nation. I still believe we are the greatest nation on the planet. I just think we have some dumb fucks running things. I think we let it slip and get away from us, and we let the politicians grab too much power and gaslight us too much and dictate. You know, they're there at the bequest of us. They're there to serve us, not the other way around. When you get elected and go to Washington or your state or your regional, even your town, you're there to serve, not to be served. That's how government is supposed to work, folks. And again, look it up. That's how the U.S. was designed. But they've gotten way too big for their britches. And you notice they always pull the safety card, the emotional card. Oh, it's for your protection. It's for the protection of others, blah, blah, blah. And 90% of the shit, they play on emotions. They play on fear. Wasn't COVID, the COVID scam, a big enough wake-up call for a lot of you out there? COVID's so deadly you can die. Don't go near anyone. Get a vaccine. Don't touch anything. Don't look at anything. And 2 days later, those politicians are partying with their friends, no masks, drinking, whooping it up, laughing, cackling, dancing. Mm-hmm. Right, it was so deadly. Mm-hmm. It was called a new version of the flu, ladies and gentlemen, in this humble broadcaster's opinion. And like any new virus that comes out there, when it starts, it will be more deadly, more virulent. I don't know how you pronounce that word. But just like any new virus that comes out, and then it weakens with time, as it has done. Now it's nothing more than a cold. But the scare tactics are starting again. Get your children. Get them another shot. Get them shot number 7. Stick your infant with 12 needles. Comply, comply, comply. Comply or you'll die. Please. Common sense, my fellow Americans. Please, for the love of God, start using common sense. Yeah. Don't be mindless sheep. But again, America, it's time to put up or shut up. Please get out and vote. Get informed about your candidates. Make the best intelligent, informed decision you can. Election day for the midterms is not far. It's November 8th here in the United States. Get involved, get informed. And let's make America great again. Well, thanks for listening to the program today. I truly appreciate your listenership. And like I said, if you like the program, please like and share the podcast. And give us a positive rate and review. You can listen to more episodes of Voice Thoughts at purplepitstudios.com, purplepitstudios.com. If you want to email me, it's Weiss Thoughts. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, Weiss Thoughts, at purplepitstudios.com. And until next time, my friends, remember, to be the change in the world that you want to see, you have to be the change in the world. It starts with you, the person looking back at you in the mirror every day. Until next time, my friends, be good to yourself, be good to others. And I'm looking forward to meeting you again at the virtual campfire, which is Weiss Thoughts. Take care.